70% of women say they experience significant stress during pregnancy. And being pregnant in 2025 and 2026 doesn't make it any easier. Whether you struggled to get pregnant, got pregnant a little earlier than you'd hoped for, experienced losses, or had financial stress, or had a traumatic birth before, finding providers who align with your priorities, your appointments, or just completely overwhelmed and scared of the unknown, extreme stress during pregnancy is so valid. And a lot of the time, we can't just choose to escape that stress. So, why are we even talking about it? I want to tell you something about called fetal programming and how we react to stress and how that shapes our baby's development. But don't worry, there's hope too. We can't just choose the stress, but we can learn how to adapt and how to regulate so that our bodies can process it a little easier and teach our baby's nervous system how to be resilient. So let's get into it. So this video that we're making here is for pregnant moms out there who are dealing with chronic stress and want to understand how it's affecting their baby's development and what they can actually do to their nervous system to regulate despite the overwhelming circumstances in the world. So that's exactly what this video is about. In this video, you're going to discover how the umbilical cord connection programs your baby's nervous system, why up to 70% of women report significant stress, and how it affects fetal development, the perfect storm that starts during pregnancy, and how neurologically focused chiropractic care can help your nervous system shift from that survival mode to regulation. So it creates that calm internal environment for your baby. So we wanted to start with talking about a patient named Catherine. She was in for her 5th pregnancy, but only her 2nd neurologically focused chiropractic care. So her previous pregnancies before that without care were filled with unrelenting heartburn. She had sciatic pain, crushing fatigue. And I mean, she was overwhelmed and just stressed out beyond the max. And so this time with this 5th pregnancy, she got adjusted 2 to 3 times a week throughout the whole pregnancy. Even though this was when she was the oldest she'd ever been during her pregnancies, she felt the best out of every single one of them. Her nervous system stayed regulated, her symptoms were minimal, and she had energy to keep up with her other kids. She slept great, her heartburn was manageable. The neurological scans lined up exactly with how she was feeling. And so her adjustments were tailored to what her body was showing. And just weeks away from baby number 5, Catherine said that this was the most confident she'd ever felt heading into labor and delivery. She knew her body was ready because she'd kept her nervous system regulated throughout the entire pregnancy. And we see this all the time with every patient where it's just like, it's a game changer for how we feel and have that energy, and we have that resiliency and adaptability in the system to combat any stress that comes our way. And so that's exactly what we're trying to do here with 3T Family Chiropractic. Is our nervous system is teaching the baby's nervous system. The umbilical cord is more than just a nutrient delivery system. It's the electrical connection between your nervous system and your baby's. And so when stress hormones like cortisol stay elevated in your body, they cross that placenta and flood the baby's developing brain. And so that baby's nervous system is being programmed. And especially right now, if you're stuck in sympathetic dominance, that fight or flight mode, then the baby's nervous system learns this as a baseline normal. We think of it like the nervous system as an air traffic controller for every other system in the body. If that air traffic controller gets stuck in panic mode, everything else can malfunction severely. And so research, they published in Development and Psychopathology, found that infants' mothers with the highest stress levels showed 22% higher stress reactivity. These babies were more easily upset, they were harder to soothe, and they showed poorer recovery from stress. And that pattern was established during the pregnancy. So fetal programming creates lifelong patterns. We see it all the time with a lot of things, on the internet or with whatever it may be, where, stress and trauma can be passed down generationally. Fetal programming means permanent changes. And so during pregnancy, your baby's amygdala, the fear center, develops larger and more reactive when exposed to chronic stress. The HPA axis, which is your baby's response system, gets programmed with a hair trigger baseline. And so we think of it like building a house on a cracked foundation. You can't remodel a house on a cracked foundation and expect it to maintain stability. Your baby's nervous system's foundation is being built right now, and that chronic stress can create cracks in the foundation before they're even born. So, the vagus nerve, the main nerve of that parasympathetic system that rests and digests, develops its tone during pregnancy. Poor vagal tone from prenatal stress can affect digestion, heart rate, inflammation, immune function, social engagement, emotional regulation, and all these things for years and years to come. Kids whose mothers experienced chronic stress during pregnancy have higher rates of ADHD, anxiety, sensory processing disorder, even physical health issues like asthma and allergies. And this isn't just bad luck, it's the fetal programming. And that's just what we call stage one of the perfect storm. The perfect storm often begins before pregnancy even starts, whether it be fertility struggles, multiple rounds of IVF, months or years of emotional weight or hormonal medications, financial strain, relationship stress. By the time pregnancy happens, the nervous system's been already depleted. A lot of times, we don't just start stress all at once. A lot of times, that stress builds over time and over years. And then once we become pregnant, then that system is already adapted to what it's used to on a regular basis. Then the pregnancy adds its own stressors, physical discomfort, fear about the baby's health, anxiety about labor, all normal things like financial pressures and work stress and relationship challenges. Your baby's developing in this environment. And here's the truth, they don't really grow out of it. They grow into it and grow into other things. Whether it's colic at 2 months becomes chronic constipation at 6 months. That constipation becomes sensory sensitivity at 18 months. Sensory issues become ADHD, signs at 5. ADHD becomes anxiety by age 10. The nervous system dysfunction that starts during fetal programming can manifest differently as the brain develops and as time goes on, as our body develops. So you can help, that's the good thing, is you can help your nervous system regulate, and we can do it right now. We can't eliminate these stressors. We all deal with stress in our daily lives, especially with the world today. So just eliminating every stressor is impossible, but you can help your nervous system shift from sympathetic dominance into parasympathetic function, creating a calm, regulated internal environment that supports healthy fetal programming. And that's where neurologically focused chiropractic care works at the foundational level. Gentle, specific adjustments help release that parking brake on your nervous system, allowing it to shift out of that survival mode and into regulation. Now, insight scans that measure nervous system dysregulation provide objective data. Heart rate variability, HRV, measures the balance between your sympathetic and your parasympathetic systems. SEMG, surface electromyography, shows where your nervous system is holding tension. Neurothermal scans that we do detect areas of dysregulation. These scans track improvements in your nervous system function often before we even notice symptomatic changes. So when our nervous system is when it's regulated, our baby learns regulation. This is the window of opportunity. Pregnancy is when foundations get built, and what you do now affects not just your pregnancy, but also lifelong health of the entire family. And so what we're trying to say is our baby's nervous system is being programmed in this very moment. Your nervous system teaches the baby's nervous system, and the intervention you pursue now can address nervous system dysregulation at the root cause level, affecting your child's health trajectory for years. So you have more control than you think. When we talk about generational trauma or generational stress or co-regulation between family members, we can do more about it than we think, not by eliminating stress on the outside, but by helping your body regulate it despite it being there. If you're ready to support your nervous system and give your baby the healthiest possible start, click the link in our bio, send us a direct message, or schedule with 3T Family Chiropractic in Olathe, Kansas. So let's help you create a calm, regulated foundation your baby deserves.